Hey everyone, welcome to Love to Create by Tonya. In this DIY, we're going to be taking a Dollar Tree Christmas tree and turning it into a farmhouse style Alpine tree. Now for this design, you will need some felt, one of the pool noodles, some masking tape, a cutter, one of the Christmas trees, and some of the pine greenery stems. Now all of these items you can purchase at Dollar Tree. My felt I happen to have in my craft box. Now I'm just going to cut off a piece of the pool noodle the size that I want it to be. I'm going to cut it open and I'm just going to fit that tree right down into that top part, and I'm going to tape it shut with the masking tape before I actually wrap it in the felt. The little nub was actually a little bit too big for me to poke down in that hole on the top without doing the slit, but it will hold together really well with the masking tape. And like I said, you can make yours as tall as you like, but what you want to do is have it tall enough that when we start bending the branches downward, that your branches will hang freely as if it was a real alpine tree. Now I'm just going to trim off some of the extra felt on the top and bottom. It will stand up by itself without adding anything to the bottom, but I do take one of my little craft discs and glue to the bottom, but you could also use one of those little pieces of the wood in the Crafter's Choice section there at Dollar Tree and put that on the bottom if you would like. Now I'm just going to start bending my branches downward, and there was quite a few of the branches made it where I'm not going to have to add too many of the little pine stems, but if you want to make it fuller you can add lots more. But the alpine trees are kind of sparse in a way, and I think that makes a more realistic look. And what's really going to give the illusion of it being an alpine tree is where we add that tall base to the bottom of it. Now I'm just going to take those greenery stems and I'm going to cut them in different lengths. You're going to need a longer length for the ones at the bottom, and then we're going to keep getting shorter as we go up the tree. Now as you're gluing these on, you're going to have to hold them on just for a few seconds to let them dry. And I did find out after working with this a while, if you just take and gently bend up the tip of where you're actually going to glue, that helps it to glue on a little bit easier. But like I said, you just need to keep placing them on and kind of bending them in a downward position. Now I just dressed this one really simple. I'm just going to end up putting some of the little pine cones that I purchased at Dollar Tree kind of throughout, and I'm only going to do that on one side of this one, and then I'm going to paint it with some of the acrylic paint to make it look like it's got snow and kind of a flocked look to it. Now I'm taking my rope twine that I had in my craft box and just kind of twisting it gently around that base there, and they do have rope twine that you can use for this at Dollar Tree also. This is a larger one that I had in my craft box that I actually purchased at Walmart. Now I tried to pick out some of the smaller pine cones to kind of glue on the edges of the tree branches, and if you look at a real tree, pine tree, whether it's alpine or what we have here, you just kind of want them more toward the edges where you can really see them. But I'm really liking how this design is turning out so far. You'll have to let me know what you think of this and taking the Christmas trees from Dollar Tree and forming it into this alpine tree. And I am going to try to add a couple of them on top of each other just to see if I can get that taller look. If you would like to see that DIY, just drop that in the comments below. I think when you dress these really simple like this, they just make really neat little accents for the Christmas and winter theme, which I'll be doing several winter theme things because that's kind of my favorite thing to do. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed how this one turned out. If so, I'd appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you do so, and I'll see you soon.